Hi, I'm Aaron at 1maybe2 Retro. Welcome back. I know it's been a hot minute. 5, maybe 6 months now since my last video. You saw that I was able to get my 30-year-old bulletin board system up and running. It's absolutely chuffed for that. It's not in the optimal situation that I wanted to be in. Let me tell you a little bit very quickly about where I've been. The weekend that I got that bulletin board system up and running, I had a cyber attack. Yeah, it was a ransomware, and it took out about 36 terabytes worth of video data. Luckily, most of that had already been published, and sadly, crippled my infrastructure. That took me about 3.5, 4 months to recover from, and in between, I had a 3.5 week bout of illness. I had a month of family vacation, which kind of extended into a month and a half. Coming back, I had some geriatric family issues I had to deal with, and I built these shelves. These wonderful, wonderful shelves. So yeah, it's been a hot minute, and I actually did a welcome back video back in September, but you know, it's a school year got started, and now we're in the middle of October. We had Canadian Thanksgiving, etc. So it's time I got back. Oh, but big news, you know, went to VCFMidwest, my first VCF ever. That was fantastic, and we're going to have a look at what I was able to find there. I went with a few objectives in mind and came back with most of them. So yeah, sorry I haven't been around for 6 months. The BBS is still up and running. I have been doing quite a bit of code work, probably 3 to 4 weeks worth of coding on that BBS, and have made some progress, and we'll make a video about that. But for right now, we're going to dig into some of these really cool items that I found at VCFMidwest. I might as well jump right to it. VCFMidwest 20, which is 2025, but it's their 20th anniversary, was an amazing trade show to go to. I've been to many of the Commodore and computer festivals 30, 35 years ago, including the World of Commodore twice. When it was really large, and then last year was my first time going back to the World of Commodore. I will be at the World of Commodore 2025, which I think is happening December 12th, but I'll validate that and put a message up if that's not accurate. So yeah, this was my first VCF ever, anywhere, and I gotta say, it was an amazing show. I met so many great people. I can believe it or not, I've met a few fans there, which was really, really cool. Met a whole bunch of new people that have become fans, friends, acquaintances, collaborators, etc. I met a few people that I already knew online and had been newly introduced. It was great to see some of the fellow retro enthusiasts that have been sharing on the YouTube media and elsewhere, and be able to collaborate a bit with them. A number of them running terminal emulation so you could connect to BBSs, so I got RAMifications up on there. Wow, it was really cool. I can't say how much fun it was. And what's really interesting is the next one that I'll be at is going to be VCF 2026 in Montreal, Canada. That's right. In the middle of January, we're going to have a VCF in cold, snowy Montreal, Quebec, Canada. But hey, it's going to be held indoors, so it's going to be fine. So I'll expect to see you there, and yeah. So let's go back to my newly formed shelves here, and let's pull out some of the cool stuff that I acquired while at VCF. It's not a lot of stuff. I didn't buy a computer. I flew in. I wasn't going to go there to buy a computer, but I had a few objectives. So number one, I knew I was building this. I've been building this since just before that cyber attack in April. So hey, I now have display stands for my computers. And let's see, if we take this computer here, which is, this is one of the first 250,000 Commodore 64s ever built. We'll put the newer one up top. Pretend it's not as important. Woohoo! That looks better, doesn't it? Can you see that? Here. Ta-da! So this is my haul. So one of the key things that I was looking for at VCF was a used Hayes modem, and part of the reason is I want to convert this to an external RS-232 to Wi-Fi. And I recently got all the parts I believe I'm going to need. I haven't got the digital signal processor yet, but I do have ESP32s and some TTL to RS-232 adapters. So that is really cool. And what's really great, now I saw one brand new in a box. Well, I shouldn't say brand new, but it looked brand new. Like, I have never seen a used Hayes modem that looked that clean and perfect. I never owned a brand new one myself. I bought mine used. It was in really good shape. Way back when I was running RAMifications. It was a 2400, not a 1200, because previously I had the Commodore 1670 was my my second modem I had at home. I also had a VIC 300 baud modem, but quickly upgraded to the 1670. To that point, I found this one for $5, no power adapter. Don't need it because I'll be running 5-volt DC into the ESP32, which will connect to the RS-232, and then I'll breadboard in some of the LEDs to the communication channels. Now, to get the speaker, to get a speaker-like environment and all those cool sounds, I'll have to get a DSP to add on to the ESP. But that was one of my primary objectives, was to find a used Hayes smart modem in a box, just like this, just like I used to own. I found one, and that will be a future project. I know other people have done it, but I haven't. And then I also found this. The guy, again, gave me a really good deal. That virtually brand new in a box Hayes was immaculate, but it also was priced as immaculate. And I mean, even the box was pristine. There wasn't even a sticker on the box. It was incredible. So this one is another modem, Packard Bell, that I had owned as well, that I was able to find. It's in really good shape. Sold and used in Canada at some point, because it does have a Communications Canada sticker on it. So this one I might actually just save and use, or I may upgrade it. I'm not sure which. I'll have a look at this one again. But this one has all the components, including the power supply, which I'll need to test. But yeah, it would be good to have a 2400 baud modem. The price I paid for it was $10 US. I mean, and I'll add these to I have another set of modems somewhere in the back storage. I have a 28.8 or 33.6 and a 56K US robotics modems. So I'm going to be adapting all of them so that they can run on ESP232, which I think would be really neat. And that ESP232, by the way, for those that don't know, it allows you to actually bridge the serial to Wi-Fi. So on my Commodore 128 with a Swift link, I'll be able to go out to the serial port on the Swift link, and connect it to the Wi-Fi and emulate a Turbo 232 running at probably, 115K rather than 56K or 38.4. So I was going also on the hunt for some software. And what's really cool, you heard me talk about this, I do use the Abacus, a lot of the Abacus software. This was just really neat. It's a Commodore 128 tips and tricks. So, hey, why not? Never owned that. What else did I find? Commodore 64 basic programming. Hey, why not? That one looked fun. Home Designer for the Commodore 128. I think I used to own this. I'm not sure. Never really had a use for it when I was younger. Here, I'm going to just zoom in here. But hey, and I did check all these. All these discs look like they're in really good shape. Super 81 Utilities by Free Spirit Software. I don't know if I ever had this or not. But since I got this, Bitbinders 1581 dual DV. We'll be testing that out as well. Now, one of the things that I was really looking for was an Abacus Basic 128 decompiler. I've never seen one. I don't ever remember hearing of one. It may be a future project of mine to reverse engineer one. There's been some great reverse engineering that I've seen online of the Blitz compiler set, original Blitz, but not for the 128. So anyways, I already have a 3.5 licensed version of this, but I don't have the serial number for it. I have the original disc, and it's what we compiled EBBS 128 with as we did upgrades to the basic side of it. So I saw it. It was cheap. I thought, what the hey. And then we have another Abacus disc here, Commodore 128 internals. Kind of goes along with, our Commodore 128 tricks and tips. So that's some really cool software. I don't ever remember seeing the assembler development system, but it was an original Commodore disc. At least I believe it was. And looked in really good shape. So I picked it up. But what I was really looking for is GnomeKit. Now again, I had a licensed version of this, but I've lost the manual and can't find the manual online. I wasn't able to find GnomeKit on disk, but I was able to find GnomeSpeed compiler, which is really cool. Now, sadly, the disk looks like it's a little damaged, but again, we're talking $1. Just the fact that I was able to find, GNOME Developers Kit and all these, developers tools that I had. Well, the CAD is not a developer's tool, but I thought it was really cool that I was still able to find some of that software floating around. And to be honest, there wasn't a lot of Commodore software out there. Fast forward. This should not be out of the box, or maybe it should. Oh yes. So I found an original gunship, and I owned gunship previously, but just look at the condition of that box. It's in really, really good condition for a 35-year-old box. And what's even cooler, well, the internals are a little worse off. I didn't buy it for the software. It didn't actually come for the software. You're like, Aaron, the disc is right there. Well, actually, I bought this disc separately from a different vendor. But this has all the controls and the coveted, it does have the software in there. Oh, I guess I was wrong. The coveted keyboard template. An extra keyboard template. And oh, look at this. The software. Oh, jeez. It was hiding in the bottom. Ooh, a little bit of dust on that, but doesn't look too bad. Now, I know, again, most of you are going to be like, Aaron, I think you already own that. No, I don't already own that. But I now have 2 potentially working copies of it as originals. It was one of the games that I played every day. Every day I could play that flight simulator, I did. It brought a huge amount of joy. Silent Service, one of my favorite submarine simulators. There are a couple out there. Again, look at this box. A little blemish there. This thing is in great shape. I mean, the disc may not work anymore, but I can get a copy of it if I have to digitally. Sadly it'll be hacked, but again, with the user manual. And even the user manual is in pretty good shape. So again, good submarine simulator. Pretty sure here we go. Red Storm Rising. A little bit of Tom Clancy's #1 selling book, it says. Box is in really good shape. Love the box. Very reminiscent of the other Tom Clancy book, Hunt for the Red October. I believe that was Tom Clancy. So yeah, another good strategic semi-action simulator. I haven't played that in a while. And then look at this. Now, you'll see another video coming up where we're going to play with this a little bit. I think it is Strike Eagle that we're going to play with. Yeah. And so here's what's really cool. Hold on a sec. Oh, bad dudes falls. So I found Strike Eagle, and yeah, box is in pretty good shape, but this is a bit flimsy, and the software works. It absolutely does work. But this, this is pristine. Got a tiny crinkle there. There's no sticker marks. Well, right there. There's a sticker mark there, but the adhesive itself looks like it's just come off. It would have been one of these stickers, very similar to this. There's no doubt in my mind that this is for the Commodore 64. The disc looks in absolutely great shape. The manual is in really good shape. And so when it comes to, oh, look at that, an original brochure. When it comes to jet flight simulators, definitely F-15 Strike Eagle, along with Skyfox, a bit more arcadey, etc., are the ones that I certainly would play. So here, Gunship, Silent Service, F-15 Strike Eagle. I don't remember the Top Gunner collection. Silent Service, Gunship, Strike Eagle. No, never. Don't think I ever played the 3-in-1 Top Gunner collection. Acrojet. Do I have Acrojet? No, I have Ace of Aces up there. Acrojet was another really, really good one. And it was great because it wasn't about fighting. It was about doing stunts and stunt racing, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, I didn't get into any of their strategy. I'm sure I played Hellcat Ace and Spitfire Ace. Never NATO Commander. That would have been one. So, I already had this, yes, but I bought it because the box was so stunning and it was a different box. Why am I buying a whole bunch of software that I can play? Why am I buying a whole bunch of software that I can already play, or some of which I already own? This is the whole point of the retro community. It's about the nostalgia. It's about when things were pushing the limits of technology that was already getting out of date. I mean, this was, well, 1986. 8-bit computers were still going strong, but the PCs were very quickly catching up. You had the Commodore Amigas that had come out, and so the 16-bit Motorola 68K chipsets were starting to really dominate the market or impact the market, as well as game consoles. So these were the things that I played, and I plan on playing a number of them again because I enjoyed them so much. So they'll go up on my collector's shelf now without trying to knock too many things over. Cool. All right. Oh, yes. Don't forget, Montreal, Canada, Vintage Computer Festival 2026. Definitely will give you a link to that. I will be there. I'm actually helping organize and sponsor that, which is a really great experience working with the showrunner and the VCF folks. The last thing I found was a Commodore mouse. Now I already have a 1351. To be honest, when I opened this, I didn't actually read 1350, and the software inside said 1351, but I can almost guarantee you this is a 1350 by the serial number that is on it. And the manual and obviously the box. But hey, this thing's in like really, really good shape. And I mean, I could throw my my disk right now, my GEOS disk, and load this up. And yeah, there we go. So, Super Haul VCFMidwest 20 back in September, mid-September. Super stoked to try some of these out. I'll do that in another video, but wanted to say, hey, I'm back. I've got some upgrades I've done to the SX64 that I've been promising to show. Some of the software I will feature. I've done a lot of work on the EBBS 128, and I think I've made some breakthroughs there, so I'm going to be sharing that. And I have a stack of retro machines that have been piling up that need my attention. I'm also preparing for VCF 2026, as we talked about, but also World of Commodore 2025 this December. It's happening in mid-December, so I hope to see you guys there. So, a lot of information, a lot of cool stuff. I want to say hi to all the friends I made at VCF Midwest. Thanks for being amazing hosts in Chicago, and thanks so much for accepting a new Canadian retro person into the community, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video or next event. I never know how they. Oh, you know what? Here's something else. I am going to try and build up my subscribership a little bit more. I know I've been on hiatus, and during that hiatus, hey, I gained almost 10% more viewers. That's fantastic. And I should say subscribers, not viewers. But you will see the videos start to come out more regularly. Hey, give me a thumbs up or subscribe or both if you're at all interested in these types of videos. It just means the algorithm's going to share it more. This really is making sure I can share my journey with the community and engage the community in a fun and an interesting way. It also feeds my other video editing hobby, which I've had for decades, and lets me play with all sorts of fun equipment. So if you have any questions about that, I'd love to start an off thread about that. Certainly not a professional. Again, an amateur that's just been an enthusiast for his entire life. So thanks again. Appreciate you tuning in. Looking forward to the next interesting tidbit I can entertain you with. Cheers. Thanks for joining me on my journey. This is Aaron at One Maybe Too Retro.